starts off with a question.
Caleb, is this a good game to kind of get a look at some guys in extended minutes that haven't gotten those types of minutes?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to turn the page, on this kind of rough patch we've been in. In a lot of ways, the turning point comes in one goal and one result, and just getting your kind of confidence back and that winning feeling. And we've got 2 games this week where we feel like we can kind of use them as a turning point. Starting with this cup game tomorrow, which we will plan to use some different guys. And like you said, it's a great opportunity for some of the guys that haven't been playing as much to kind of show us that they can be a solution to some of our, goal scoring woes. And there'll be a good hunger, I think, in this group tomorrow. So that's our focus right now. We prepared a group to play Detroit. We'll travel tonight, and we'll play this cup game tomorrow, and then we're back late at night on Tuesday, and then we'll turn around and start to prep for Kansas City. But my mindset, the players' mindset, the locker room's mindset is this week is going to be a turning point for us. And again, I think it just takes one goal sometimes and one result to kind of turn things. I've seen that many times with teams that I've had.
And on that note too, with the younger guys specifically, like they're going to treat this up there like one of the biggest games in their club history. Could it be kind of a good experience with the atmosphere for like a Sean and Aiden and some of those young guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the cool things about Open Cup is you get teams from different divisions playing each other, and this will be their MLS Cup final. And they'll have a great crowd. Won't be easy. It's a turf field. I hear the locker room's not great. And we're on the road, so it won't be easy. And they've got a mature team. They got some MLS guys that kind of cut their teeth there, and it's going to be a big deal for them, and it's a big deal for us as well with the players that we're going to play. So. Again, I think we can get some momentum a little bit by a result and a feeling in our locker room, which I think can ignite a little bit of a turning point for us.
How can you still do that even if some of those guys, given how quick this turnaround is, a lot of the guys who played Saturday might not get in this game, even just kind of being there and feeling that, you feel like that can help as well, even if they're not in the game specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we'll leave a lot of guys back. Okay, for obvious reasons, because we're taking a bus 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and it's a tight turnaround from Saturday, and then we have another quick turnaround on the road to KC. So you're going to see a lot of new names in the lineup, which means we'll have a fresh group, we'll have a hungry group, and that also allows us to turn around pretty quickly after this game. There will be some guys that played in the game that will travel, a handful of guys, but there'll be a lot of guys that won't travel. But I'm confident the group that will travel, the group that we prepared today to play against Detroit, can get the job done. But we're under no illusion that's going to be easy, for sure. This team's a good team, and again, I think anytime you see an MLS team, play a second division team, a USL team, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Because of the motivational factor. But I also like that we're putting some guys in that have hunger, and guys that are going to be fresh physically, to be able to cope with the things that we need to do to win the game.
We were asking Jalil about making runs because he's been there in this tournament. He pointed to the depth and the maturity of the team. You sort of touched on it with young guys, but do you see that in this group? It's obviously been a while since you've had this opportunity these last couple of years to give guys like this opportunity. Is this a group that you think can make a run given the depth you guys have built up the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it's always important in managing just the different competitions and cups that you have your priorities right. Our priority is the league, our priority is playoffs and MLS Cup, but the Open Cup is still important, and it's a great opportunity to, like you said, play some guys that haven't played as much, and we feel like we have a good enough roster where we can still compete with some different guys. And I said to them today, the group we're playing, they've oftentimes in inter squads beaten the group that played on the weekend, Saturday. So we feel like we have a good 1-2 in every spot, and you know, not just young guys in every position, a nice blend. You know, you have like a Josh Williams, a Jaleel, you have some experienced guys, a James, and some of these guys who we can blend with some of the young guys like Will Sands and Aiden Morris, and you know, we feel like it's a good blend, and that's important as well. We just play 11 young guys. It's difficult because they have a lot of experienced players, Detroit. And these players have been grinding in their careers over years and years and years, and it hasn't come easy for them, you know, and their hunger, Detroit's, in this game is going to be very high. You know, in a lot of ways, their coach, their players are trying to show that they're as good as us.
Right.
You know, so there's a natural hunger, but I like that we got guys that want to show that they're good enough to be playing for us, and that they're good enough to make a run in this cup, or that if they're a young player, they're good enough to be a top player in this league. Whereas if we play some guys like Lucas, there's not a lot to prove in a game like this.
Right.
And in fact, you play on the turf in a bad locker room and against a team that's flying around everywhere. Sometimes those are even trickier
Sure.
games because of the mindset. So yeah, we'll rest some guys, which is a smart thing to do. But I don't want a mixed message. We definitely are wanting to win this game, but we're going to use different guys.
When you look at, or when you and your staff are looking at this kind of week, how do you break down, okay, we've got to analyze this and figure out this, but we also know tricky games Saturday,
Yep.
You know, and obviously one where you want to turn things around. How do you kind of break down the analysis of?
It's a lot of planning, a lot of thinking ahead. You know, we had a plan obviously coming into today, who we were going to train, who we were going to recover, what was our lineup going to be, what was our formation going to be. We had to have ahead of time analyzed Detroit, right? Because we essentially have 1 day of prep.
Right.
And you know, the guys that played Saturday couldn't prep today. So for us, we had a plan of a group of guys that we were going to prepare today, that were ready to prepare, and a group that was going to recover, a group that's going to stay back, a coach that's going to stay back and train that group tomorrow, and then we have a plan for Wednesday when we're back. So that's just our jobs. There's a ton of stuff that goes into it, but we've got a good plan. We just take it day by day, and we won't focus on Kansas City until Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we'll turn the page on the Open Cup game, hopefully after a victory, and we'll turn around, we'll make good decisions there on where we're at, and we'll start to prep for KC. We've got 3 days. You know, and the biggest thing I have to think about is getting the job done tomorrow, but then also thinking about solutions for Saturday.
Right.
You know, how can I, like I said, flip a different switch? Whether that's a different personnel choice, or, you know, possibly a different formation, or continue to do what we're doing and flipping a different switch training-wise, or because right now the psychology is the key. We got to switch the psychology, and so the best way to do that is to get the first goal. You're going to see that psychology change immediately. You know, I'm sure the question is, how do you get the first goal? Well, we just need to get the first goal,
Right.
you know, and I know that we will, but you know, can we use this Open Cup game a little bit to get our mojo back?
Would a strong performance by someone in the Open Cup game force the issue in your MLS lineup, or are you not tinkering to that point yet?
No, I'm always tinkering. I made a couple changes in the lineup, Nashville. You know, and then obviously I felt it was important to stick with what we were doing after Philly, because I saw a lot of positives. I saw a lot of positives in this game. So there's a lot of arguments for continuing to stick with the guys that were playing. If you look at the first 35 minutes, we were excellent. I think we were in the 6-yard box 6 times, you know. So there's a lot of arguments for not changing much, but also, you know, my job is about flipping the switch you know, at the right time and pushing the right buttons. And, you know, I've laid awake at night thinking about a lot of different things. So,
Yeah.
and you saw the 4-4-2 we went into diamond. We hadn't done that, so I've got some things in my mind that I can pull out that we've talked about. Maybe now's the time, or maybe we just need to keep doing what we're doing. Those are things I'll decide in the next several days. But I do think the Open Cup game, I'll have my eye on who wants to be in the team, you know, and who's in form, and who do I need to get in the team. That's very important. So this Open Cup game, for sure, from that standpoint, is going to be a great kind of audition for parts for the weekend.
And maybe by osmosis, if a win occurs, it trickles down, you know, and,
Exactly.
yeah, so.
Exactly. Because you got to always remember, half the locker room isn't playing.
Right.
So if you have half the locker room that gets a win, and we put some of those guys in with guys that we know are mentally strong and always going to be good. I mean, there's a handful of guys on our team every game that have been a 6 or a 7 every single game, and there have been a few that have been a 4 and a 7. You know, so we're getting some inconsistencies in a few spots. Unfortunately, those are in the front 3 spots where we need goals. You know, and I think you're seeing that. That's where we're falling short.
Thanks, Kip.